We are just hours away from night 3 of the Republican National Convention. And kicking off the hour, I want to send it over to One America's chief White House correspondent, Rion, who is with Eric Trump right now to get his take on night 2 last night, of which he spoke, and a preview of night 3. Chanel?
Hi, Patrick. Well, we're here with Executive Vice President at Trump Organization, a father, a patriot,
Thank you.
And a son.
Thanks, John.
We heard from you last night. You gave some very heartfelt words for your father and what he has done in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Tell us about how the last 2 days have been at the convention.
Yeah. Well, it's been amazing. You remember the 2016 convention. You guys covered it very well, and it's different. You're talking to a live audience, and there's 30,000 people, and everybody's going absolutely crazy, right? And I think the difference this time is you're kind of talking into people's homes, and you know that somebody's watching on a couch. It's less of a rock concert, and it's it's more personal. And I kind of purposely made my speech that, and I brought it into the homes, and I spoke a lot about my father and who he is, and I also spent a lot of time kind of comparing and contrasting the two parties. I mean, the Democrats, they hate law enforcement. They want to defund law enforcement. They're calling them the KKK and the Gestapo. Biden wants to increase everybody's taxes by $4 trillion, so 82% of people will see their taxes go up, massively. You see the Green New Deal, $90 trillion. I mean, it's insane, right? They want to get rid of your freedom of speech. They want to get rid of your freedom of religion. They want to get rid of your Second Amendment, and I could go on and on and on. And then you look at what my father wants. He wants the greatest economy in the world. He wants the strongest military. He wants school choice. He wants Middle Eastern peace. All right. He wants to lower prescription drug prices. He wants jobs for everybody, and he wants to get government largely out of people's lives and let them celebrate religion and family and not be censored. And there's a big difference between the two. And I think they were very dark and gloomy, and they sat there apologizing for America being the greatest country in the world. And we were sitting there, and we have been sitting there celebrating America for being the greatest country in the world. So I'm really proud of where we are, and I feel really good about this election.
Well, the last time you spoke at the RNC, as you mentioned, 4 years ago, does that seem like a long time ago?
Yeah, it feels like it was yesterday in a certain way, and it also feels like a long time ago in that they've tried everything, and you guys have covered it better than anybody, but they've tried to take us out more times than you can possibly imagine. And but you know what? I really believe my father's done more for this country in a 3.5-year period than arguably any president in history, and I'm proud of everything that he's accomplished. And the swamp is deep, and there's a lot of them, and they have certainly lashed out. But our country is better off having had him as president, because we were just being flushed down the drain, and we were being sold to every country around the world. We were being ripped off by every country around the world, and as a nation, we're respected again, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
So much about a convention is about winning over the independent vote, winning over moderates, and rallying the base.
Yeah.
How would you rate the last couple days of the RNC in bringing in those moderates, and compare that to the DNC?
Yeah, well, if you look at the DNC, look at the people that they put on there, right? I can tell you the one thing that doesn't work with moderates is career politicians. So you take Joe Biden, who's been there for 47 years. You take Nancy Pelosi, who's been there for almost 40 years. You put them together, they've been in office for almost 100 years. Think about that, right? Every one of their speakers was a career politician who had never actually worked a day of their lives outside of Washington, D.C. Look at the people that we have on there. Herschel Walker. We had a lobster fisherman last night, because my father saved the Maine lobster industry a couple weeks ago. The European Union was crushing it with tariffs and other things. We've got a logger speaking tonight, because it's, again, another industry my father. the vast majority of the people who are speaking have nothing to do with politics. They're not in politics. They want nothing. They're good, hardworking Americans, and I think that's the biggest difference that you see. These are real people. They're not just the political elites. And by the way, these same political elites in the DNC, they make fun of the people in central, in the middle of the country. They call it, and I spoke about this last night during my speech, but they call them the quote-unquote flyover states, right? If you don't live in Los Angeles and you don't live in New York City or Washington, D.C., you're part of the quote-unquote flyover states. And by the way, that's the exact mentality that got my father elected in 2016. It was so many people who are forgotten about, kind of the forgotten man and woman of this country. And they've always disrespected those people. They've never catered to them. They have people that are totally unrelatable to those individuals, and they wonder why they lose.
This is something that your adversaries perhaps hate about your family, and your fans, the people who elected your father, love about your family, and that is you guys are very united as a family unit. And we really saw some family members sparkle last night, you included. We watched Tiffany Trump, we've watched your brother Eric, and fairly soon we're going to see Laura tonight. Is there anything you can preview for us about her speech?
Well, Laura's is great, and I won't preview it, but she did an awesome job. I mean, she's going to do an awesome job, but I obviously saw the speech. And Tiffany, I'm so proud of Tiffany. Tiffany came out of law school like 3 days ago, and she's out there in front of 30 million people, and she blew it out of the park. And Don did a great job, and we all did it in kind of our own unique, different way. And Melania did a great job. Ivanka's going to do a phenomenal job. But you mentioned family, right? I mean, the family unit is one thing that's missing in this country. It just is. You see so many of these problems. If I ever acted the way some of these anarchists are acting in some of these cities, my father and mother would have beaten the life. I mean, they really would have. They would have killed me. I would have, right? And you see some of that, and you see some of these problems, and you see some of the rioting, and I really do believe that's kind of a failure of the family unit because, I'm telling you, that wouldn't have happened in my family.
You mean if you were caught with drugs in the backseat of your car, you wouldn't be appointed to a board in some gas company in Ukraine?
Yeah, no, that's right. If I got caught doing 1/100th of what Hunter Biden did, I certainly I would have been in jail for the rest of my life, and I would have been probably disowned by my family. But it's the breakdown of the family unit in this country is something that I think has been devastating to this family. And I think when we get up there and we fight together as a family, hey, when we got into this in 2016, we didn't have any other friends. We had to fight together as a family. We didn't have anyone else out there, and we were able to figure it out, and we were able to win. And I think America really appreciated that because America is a country that's based around the family unit, and it's based around God. It's another thing that the DNC wants to get rid of. I mean, they got rid of under God in the Pledge of Allegiance at the start of the Democratic National Convention, and I can tell you America doesn't like that. America doesn't appreciate it, and those are two things that we need much more of in our society.
Eric, we look forward to watching the next couple days. Yeah. Before I let you go, what do you want people to know about your family and about your dad that the media firestorm may have obscured from view?
Yeah. My father's one of the greatest people in the world. He was best friend in the world. He called me about 3 seconds after I got off stage last night, and I'll do the same for him as when he gets off stage. And I think everybody sees that we're kind of an immensely close family. But here's a guy, I think people lose the appreciation for this. Here's a guy that did not need to do this, right? He's the first president ever that's donated his salary back. He's working for free. He takes hits every single day. At his point in life, and given what he's done, given the lifestyle he could be living, he doesn't need to do this, but he loves this country. He cares about this country, and he was sick and tired of seeing these career politicians flush it down the drain. And I give him immense credit for that. I can tell you there aren't many people, successful people, that would give up everything that they had to be hit every single day, savagely attacked every single day. And I love him. I respect him for doing that. I think we need more great people like that. I think we need a lot more people who didn't come from Washington, D.C., because it's a broken system, it's a broken city with a lot of broken people who are very power hungry. And you see it. You see it every single day. And I think he'll go down as one of the great presidents in the United States history.
Well, you have a lot and we so appreciate you joining us here today. We look forward to tonight's
as a family, we're big fans of yours, so we appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you for saying so.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.